Welcome to the GCN Tech Show with me, Alex.
And me, Ollie. We've got loads this week, including those ludicrous Aero handlebars, hot melt chain wax, your upgrades, the bike vault. What else have we got?
I've got our main talking point, which is, will there be enough bikes for Christmas?
Let's begin with the poll from last week where we asked you whether you thought the new specialised Hot Walk kids bike, which is £999, is hot or not. And 45% of you said hot, so 55% not.
Should not, yeah.
Yeah, what do you make of that?
I feel a bit disappointed because I think it's quite cool, but I think a lot of people were going to be basing their decision on the price, which is quite a significant factor.
I think it is. It's a cool. I think it is a hot bike, but the price does make it rather decadent for a kid's bike.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can perhaps understand why people might say not. Anyway, onto our main talking point this week, which is...
if you haven't noticed, well, there's been a global pandemic for nearly all of the year, and it's had a bit of a negative, well, it's had a negative impact on many things, but quite a positive impact on the sale of bikes because, well, they're flying out the door, aren't they?
Yeah, with lockdowns enforced in many parts of the world, one of the only permitted reasons to leave your house was for exercise, and therefore this led to many people discovering cycling as they sort of realised that it was a fantastic way to justify getting outside and using that exercise and getting healthier.
And this has led to a huge increase in bike sales with, in the first 10 months of 2020, bike sales were up a whopping 60%. And that's partly down to, well, less traffic on the roads, increased cycle lane and infrastructure, with many towns even just completely closing their high streets off to cars, and people quickly worked out that the bike was just a great method of transport.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a statistic that in the UK in May, the numbers of people cycling was up 5 times in 2020 over what it had been the previous year in 2019, which is an astonishing
it's
increase.
Crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a huge amount. But unfortunately, this huge surge in cycling and demand for bikes has come at a time when the cycling industry infrastructure was under huge strain. Yeah. So there's been huge sort of delays in production, and they've often been running factories on fewer staff.
Yeah, I mean, some factories even completely ceased production for a short period of time. So then that even 2-week window some factories were closed has led to really like the huge backup of sales and orders, and they're struggling to catch up with it, really. Yeah,
well, it's not just COVID. There was actually one of the most important companies within cycling, Shimano, supplying lots of components to lots of bike manufacturers. They actually had a fire at the start of the year in their main factory in Japan. As a result, that actually limited their production this year.
They've been behind from day one. Yeah, not good for them.
Yeah.
And this increase in demand has been building throughout the year, and many people have already been forced to upgrade to more expensive bikes because, well, the cheaper ones were just sold out.
Yeah, well, in the UK, again, in April, the average price of a bike sold was £285. But then this rose significantly, right, to £391 at its peak, which is a huge increase. And then what's frustrating about that is that for people who are beginners who are entering the sport, you've raised the barrier to entry there, and I think that difference in price would be enough to stop a lot of people affording a bike.
It's a real sort of negative impact of the increase of sales. Really, is restricted what people can get access to bikes, which is always a downside. And following on from last week's talking point about e-bikes, e-bike sales are up 92% year on year, with 1 out of every £5 is spent on e-bikes. That's an interesting stat.
So while we have seen a massive increase in cycling this year, which is great, and loads of people doing it, well, arguably we would have seen a bigger increase in cycling if the demand, if the supply of bikes could have kept up with the demand. But unfortunately, we had this kind of perfect storm where it couldn't. And even right now, at this point in the year, speaking to people I know who have bike shops, and I'm hearing lots of stories about how they don't have as much stock as they would like in bikes, and there are supply issues. And it all stems from those sort of logistic and distribution problems and manufacturing problems that they've had in the Far East, 6 months ago.
So I guess, to answer our main question, which is, will there be enough bikes for Christmas? Yeah, there are going to be enough bikes for Christmas, but chances are it's not quite going to be the bike that you wanted, and you may well have to upgrade or downgrade to whatever's available.
Yeah, and if you've got a used bike that you want to sell, it's probably a good time to sell it now.
Yeah, get it online.
Quick reminder for you that we have an amazing Met giveaway at the moment, so make sure you head over to that vid and check it out because it's a phenomenal prize. We're giving away a signed yellow jersey, a new Met rival, or Rivali helmet by Tadej Pogacar, Tour de France champion.
That's pretty cool if you ask me.
That's amazing. But then in addition to that, you also get a Met Rivali helmet that you can actually wear, because I'm guessing you don't want to wear the signed one, maybe you do, but it'd be nice to keep it somewhere special.
Pretty cool.
And there's some runners-up prizes who all win a helmet as well. So still time to enter. Make sure you go and check out that giveaway, because it's a good one.
First up in hot tech this week, we've got a crazy narrow Aero handlebar, and it's called the Breakaway bar, developed with Dutch rider William van Schip, famous for using super narrow handlebars, as many of you will have seen recently on social media as well. Developed with a company called Speeco. Almost €1,500.
Yeah, it's been doing the rounds, this bar, hasn't it? I've seen them all over my feed, I think, last week. And they are causing quite a bit of controversy, I think it's fair to say.
I guess my sort of concern about handlebars is how they're going to affect the handling of the bike, because obviously they are super narrow and quite an extreme position, but they claim that it's not dramatically affected because the hoods remain in a fairly similar position, will be very narrow. So they're claiming it's just aerodynamic advantages, but I do feel like it's going to have a slight negative impact on the handling you're going to have.
I would think a big one. I mean, they come in a range of sizes, but I'm not sure why they need to, because you're not going to want a wide one. It kind of like negates the benefit.
Yeah, just completely makes them pointless.
Yeah, I think looking at the length of that stem, that surely has to impact handling, having such a short little twitchy little stem on it.
I mean,
but then also, when you think about the role of a handlebar, you have a lot of riders who are, climbing specialists. They ride a wider bar because of the leverage you can generate off the bar. And, having such a narrow little weird bar.
I guess these have just been incredibly optimized for like one specific purpose, which is going fast in a straight line. So maybe if your handling's a bit more high up on your priority list, you might be.
You know what? We definitely need a poll on these.
Yeah.
We definitely need a poll. Hot or not.
Yeah, let us know.
Next up, we've got a new bottle from a company called Beaver that actually sent us one to have a look at. Now, it's a stainless steel bottle, which is pretty cool because, a lot of people are getting concerned, rightly so, about the impact of plastic pollution in the environment, and also, a lot of plastic bottles, people, worried about actually drinking plastic particles as well. So the idea is stainless steel bottle. It's, a bit better for the environment, should last longer, and there's less chance of growing mold on the inside as well.
Yeah. Well, how are you going to drink out of it though if it's a solid drink bowl?
What, you mean like squeeze it?
Yeah. You need incredibly strong hands to crush that.
To crush it. Well, I'm glad you said that because it's been designed in part by a guy who used to work for NASA. So what Captain NASA has done is this ingenious kind of very simple mechanism. I'm not sure how it works, but there's this like weird straw thing in here, and then apparently when you drink it, you get a continuous flow of liquid that's a consistent, continuous flow through the nozzle without having to squeeze it, which is quite clever, isn't it?
Pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool tech.
Well,
nice.
Well, and following on from this, we've got some hot melt chain wax from a company called Absolute Black. And this claims to be the easiest way to wax your chain with far greater success than what I've had in the previous tries of doing it.
Why is it easier?
Well, it says it leaves the chain far more pliable, whereas I was left with a pretty much solid chain, which I couldn't really do much with. So, yeah, interestingly, what I was reading up on their website is it says the price of this actually doubles come March, which is a bit of a bizarre concept to take.
Trying to get you to buy it now.
Yeah, because they also do their all singing, all dancing graphene lube, and that's incredibly expensive, and they stopped selling it during winter time. So maybe they're trying to create a bit of a demand for their own products. Interesting.
Wahoo has created a collection of 15 really sort of awesome looking custom element Roam computers, and they've been done in collaboration with a non-for-profit organisation called Leave It on the Road, which is based in Portland, Oregon, and its mission is to ride bikes and end cancer.
Interesting, because all of the sales of these Wahoo Roams, the profits are going to be donated to the Alliance for Cancer Gene Therapy Foundation, which that's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, well, these computers stuck out for me for two reasons, right? firstly, any custom bike stuff, awesome. And then secondly, it's going to a good cause. And Wahoo have said that they will add an additional $5,000 as well.
Good
to
on
the
them.
auction. Yeah.
And our final piece of hot tech is this snow bike. And, well, believe it or not, it actually snowed last week here in the UK, which is a pretty big deal for us. I know a lot of you viewers are already customised to lots of snow, but we're obviously not.
Yeah.
So the bit of research, I found this. What do you think of it?
Well, I think we get a lot of viewers, from much colder places in the UK who constantly berate us for our sort of pathetic snow that we have here, and they have proper winters. But this looks the business, doesn't it?
DIY kit?
It's sold as a DIY kit. And when you buy it, you have to sign a disclaimer, which basically removes any liability from the manufacturers, or pretty much any eventuality that happens. But I'll tell you what, I don't know if anyone from Snow Bike is watching, but if they want to send us one, we'd definitely build that up for a video.
Oh, we'll make a tech video on that, yeah. I'm not sure we've got much snow for it, but...
One day a year.
More importantly though, it does have a 750 watt e-bike motor able to tackle gradients of up to 20%. And 750 watts is scarily close to your FTP, isn't it?
It is, yeah. How much does it cost though?
$2,150. It's not cheap.
It's quite pricey, isn't it?
Yeah, it's up there. It's now time for snacks of the week, and in my excitement to reignite this, I did somewhat overlook the reality of where to upload your pictures. So we're still working on that with the App Tech guys. But Ollie, you did have one submission.
Well, I'll tell you what, right? We put out the call, the snack signal,
the beacon
to the GCN audience, and they have responded. So, big fan of the show, called Catherine. A nice lady. She has made us a cake
for Christmas as well.
It's a Christmas cake, right? It is. Here's a picture of it now. Custom GCN Christmas cake. It's got our logo on it.
That looks amazing. Yeah,
that is amazing, isn't it?
That is unbelievable. But on a more serious note, you can submit your pictures in the Bike Vault section, and I'll pick them up for that, because I do really actually want to see them.
Well, at the moment we've just got a list of someone's saying gummy bears.
Beer, carbs in liquid form. That stuck out to me as a good one.
Snack size saurine. Gas station
I've had too much
sushi.
saurine. I'm over saurine now. Sponsored last year on a team. Endless supply. I don't want to eat anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry, because I've been reliably informed that Catherine's custom GCN Christmas cake is in the post. So don't know what state it'll arrive in.
Hopefully the postman's on his way in.
Yeah. But hopefully we can tuck in next week's show.
Get them into the Bike Vault for now, and I'll try and pick them up.
It's time now for screw riding upgrades, buy upgrades, where you submit pictures or evidence or videos or whatever form of media you like to tell us about your upgrades that you've made to your bikes, equipment or cycling lives. And this is all in a bid to win the ultimate prize, a GCN water bottle.
I didn't know what you were going to go for then.
Yeah.
I was on the edge of my seat.
Well, there you go. But before we have this week's entrance, last week's competition was between Andy Oakey's Tandem and Rock Hill's Cadex 980C. So pretty tight one, this one, but...
The Cadex got it, 58%.
58%, wow.
I actually voted for the Tandem.
I can see.
Yeah? Twice the value for money.
Yeah. Well, get in contact on Facebook. We'll get the water bottle out to you. Very well done. Up
this week, we've got, first up is Pellegrini, MTB. Even though he's MTB in his name, he's actually submitted his road bike, which he said he's owned since, forever. So it's a brand new aluminium frame, and with no maintenance whatsoever, for almost 10 years, he's decided to give it some love and attention. And after a month of copious work, he's painted it all down, stripped it all down, and made it back to brand new, and is an inspired paint job from Lotus car. Yeah,
that is cool, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it spent a lot of time in the sunshine with his very faded orange bar tape to start with, but meticulously sanded it all down, and it's got a really good finish on it. Yeah, I like
that. The green and the yellow is cool.
That's cool.
With the Lotus logo on the head tube as well.
Yeah.
That's nice. Well, it's not the only one. We've got with a custom logo on the head tube, because next up we've got Byrne, who wanted an inexpensive errand bike that he could ride to the grocery store or local pub and not worry about it getting stolen or breathed on.
I'm not sure what that means.
I don't know what that means.
I don't think we're cool enough to know that.
Yeah. So he picked up an old Peugeot frame. I love those old Peugeot frames.
Yeah.
$30 said he paid for it. Whew. And then to build the rest of the bike up, said just cost him $300, which is
pretty impressive.
I think when you look at what he's turned it into, $300 is pretty amazing. And then he used a cry cut to cut decals, and he used some regular spray cans.
This is impressive, I think.
He's incorporated copper into the design because he says that Arizona is known for copper production, and he's put the Arizona flag on the top tube. So that's pretty cool. I like the way he's incorporating the heritage of where...
It's like a history lesson as well, this.
where he's from. That's cool. So he's got and I do quite like the sort of copper effect on there.
It goes well with the colours. That's
and the
sort
blue
of
and
is
stuff,
very good, yeah.
I mean, that's... the only issue I've got with that is his original goal was to build a bike that wouldn't get stolen. I think that's so nice it would get stolen.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to leave that at a train station. Would you?
No. But it's, that is very nice. Both very good upgrades, but it's up to you guys.
Yeah,
Which is the best one? You vote in the app. Time for our favourite part of the show, the Bike Vault, where you submit pictures of your bikes and then we judge them to be nice or super nice. And as ever, you can play along at home as well by voting in the GCN app. And if we do say they're super nice, then what
ring
happens?
the bell, like this.
Okay. First up this week, we've got CTS Frosty 21 with his Cube Agree GTC race. What do you make of that?
Yeah, amazing backdrop. Description of sunset ride at Greece.
Yes, I mean the downside is that he's quietly, struggling. He's underexposed in the foreground, so we're struggling to make out all the detail.
The paint looks very dull.
Yes, so better maybe a flash gun is required.
We've got valves aligned though. Cranks nearly aligned. No chimney.
Yes, not quite in Biggie Smalls.
No.
Oh, nice. I think that's a nice.
Just a nice. Yeah. Sorry about
that. Tim Wang.
It's an Alley. Oh, Alley,
it's an Alley S-Works.
Yeah. It's a limited edition one. This jumped out at me for one first significant reason is it says no parking at any time, but he has parked his bike.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to have to mark you down slightly on that. But what about the bike? It's a nice bike.
Despite the, patent disregard for traffic laws.
Yeah.
It is a nice bike. Not quite lined up the wheels and tyres. Loving the SRAM Red mechanical group set on there. That's a corker. And he's removed his bottles, which is nice. I like his cables as well, because those lightweight Jaguar cables he's got on there.
Very good.
Save a bit of weight.
You've got good eyes.
It's a good bike, isn't it? Oh,
Saddlebag on though. I think it's a nice
it's
for
a
me.
Nice, yeah.
I think there's
Who we got next?
a couple of emissions. Next up, Tympani.
One of the deadliest snakes in the world. Tympani.
With his giant TCR. There's obviously a bit of an issue here with one of his friends. Maybe he's been spotted out on a ride. This has been submitted from one of his friends, I think, because he's saying apparently Tony is too busy for a ride. So maybe he said he can't go out for a ride, and his mate has caught him out riding.
Yeah. Also, non-drive side.
Yeah.
What is going on there?
Saddlebag open.
Terrible backdrop.
Saddlebag's open. Most of his accessories and snacks would have fallen out.
Yeah. Nice. It's not been a strong week this week.
No. This one, we finished on a strong one though.
Right. Is this the last one?
I think. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Ooh. Darex Nabong 77, maiden voyage on his new bike. Bought it a month ago. Giant TCR Advanced Pro 1 disc. Oof, look at that.
I saved the best for last. I really like this.
I'm enjoying the bridge. Also, how is he propping that? Oh, he's got I can see a stick.
Yeah.
Hidden below the rear derailleur.
He needs a shadow stand. Wouldn't be able to see that then.
He does.
But cranks wouldn't be aligned.
Yeah. You can get longer ones.
Oh.
I'm going to see if we can get the longer shadow stand.
Okay. The longer shadow stands. But I really like this. I've already made my mind up on this, I think. Valves aligned, cranks aligned, like good positioning, good backdrop.
That is a very nice, isn't it? That's a very nice bike.
I'm going to call it early. It's a super nice for me.
That is.
You in with that?
Yeah.
Right, finish on a super nice. Good work.
unfortunately, that's it for this week's show. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, as it does help support the channel. And send in your snacks. Keep your snacks coming.
Yeah. And if you're still struggling for gifts for Christmas, there's plenty of time. So why not head over to the GCN shop and check out the cool hoodie that Ollie's got on. Yeah. I've not got such a cool one.
I do like this one better than your one.
Yeah, that's better.
Also, hopefully we have Catherine's Christmas pudding next week.
Fingers crossed.
Bye.